You guys can see me, all good, straight. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, we running a sun and moon, you know what's going on. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down, turn everything off, and get you guys, ran up to speed on what's going on in my current day and age. So basically, to start it off, I have been posting a lot on TikTok, so content's been going crazy on there. This is gonna be another short video because I'm gonna explain stuff quick and summarize a lot, but TikTok's been blown up, doing pretty well. A lot of my videos have just been like out of just straight up, I just feel like posting. I'll post and just let it fly, deadass. It's gotten so much that I post so often that the algorithm just stops pushing out my videos. So I need to slow it down just a little bit, but you know what I mean. So I kept my promise, and this morning I woke up at about 8 a.m. I was supposed to go to work at 9:10, chose not to, because it was such a weird schedule. And also, once again, I was gonna make less than, actually I was gonna make negative money if I had went in today, so chose not to do that. Worked on the vehicle from 8 a.m. all the way until, it's 8 p.m. pretty much, so 12 hours of working on the vehicle. Was I working the exact whole time? No. Okay. So started off the day by replacing the, the mass airflow assembly, got that figured out, got everything put up, and once I did, I went ahead and test drove the car, and it sent me off a error code again. Now, I was like, okay, cool, the error code happened. So I didn't get to fully test drive the car, but I did turn on the car, turn the wheel, and I started to see that the vehicle was starting to die, meaning the battery was dying. So I was like, okay, cool, unplugged it, or not unplugged it, but or turned off, I don't know why I keep saying turned off the vehicle. After turning it off, I tried to turn it back on after inspecting everything, and yeah, the battery died. So the car wasn't getting enough the car wasn't getting enough electricity. I was flickering the headlights until it died off, and I was like, okay, cool, we're not able to start up the car and crank it. So I had to go through a process of diagnosing the starter, the alternator, and the battery, and basically I came up to the conclusion that my brake switch was good, at least I think it is. My brake switch was good, my starter is on the chopping block, my alternator is on the chopping block, and the battery was also on the chopping block. So I got my jumper cables, which I have this from my old Lexus that I used to have that also had battery issues and alternator problems. So plugged that up to the battery. It had just enough battery to, jump off the car. The lights would come on in the car, but the car itself would not turn on. So when I pressed it, it would go and dim the lights and turn off. So I came to the conclusion that the starter is bad. The alternator is still kind of on the chopping block. We got to check it out more, but the battery is done. Like, it's completely dead. And yes, it was colder in the morning. So I also put that on the place, but then I looked at the battery. I would throw up a picture, but I'm not trying to do all that editing. And basically the battery looked horrible. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get that replaced. Had to put that battery in my backpack. Around this time, it's about 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Get the battery, put it in my backpack, carry it to AutoZone through an Uber, because you're not supposed to have a battery in the car with you. So I did make sure it was in a concealed backpack, because like I said, it was dirty and I didn't want to put that on somebody's seat. Took that to AutoZone, had to pay $170 for the red and green washers and the lubricant, and the new battery. Got home with the new battery, plugged that in, put the washer and all that stuff on there, the lube and all that, put it on, tightened everything back up, and the car turned on and it was running well. Now, as it was running, everything started up fine. I did a quick little diagnostics of everything, and I drove it over to my local pool or something like that. Once I got it over there and I saw that everything was fine for the most part, I was like, okay, cool, let's take pictures of it. So I took pictures of the inside, the outside, the engine bay, the trunk, all of that, right? The mileage, the dashboard, all of that. Listed on Facebook for about 4.5K. Is that how much I want? No, but will I take it? Hell yeah. So I'm willing to negotiate to about 4 to less, or to a little less. And tonight I got to go ahead and update the listing one more time, and I'll probably move the price down to about 4K flat tonight. So it looks like I already decreased on price. Actually, no, I might wait for a minute to decrease the price. But basically, as I was driving out of the pool area, the car started jerking and doing the stuttering thing that I was doing before. So the mass airflow assembly was not the problem. So that's great. I started jerking and doing all that, and I was like, oh shit. Took it home, parked it, and I was like, all right, bet. Saw that there was another leak from the vehicle. I think it's coming from the CVT axle. It did not smell like power fluid though. That's what was kind of throwing me off. But at the same time, I believe the boot is where the power steering fluid goes, and I think there is a slight crack in the grommet over there, which, am I caring for it? Not really. I was still able to drive it later on today, but that's a completely different thing. So around this time, it's about 2 to 3 p.m. I'm looking at the vehicle. I'm like, okay, cool. The sensor, I don't have it with me right now, is the problem. So I texted somebody on Facebook Marketplace asking them if I could find the OEM sensor. They were going to sell it for $30. They still haven't gotten back to me, funny enough. But I was like, okay, cool. I'm just go ahead and order some sensor cleaner. So if you guys don't know what sensor cleaner is, it is a throttle body, or I bought the throttle body cleaner, which you're not supposed to use on the sensors, and I'm glad I did not. So I used it to clean the throttle body. The throttle body's cool. Now I bought a throttle body sensor, or a mass airflow sensor cleaner. So that's what you're supposed to use for the cleaner, or the sensor. It got here at 6 p.m. So I got that and sprayed it down, made sure that I didn't touch it, made it nice and clean. It smelled kind of good, and it was super duper cold. I mean, it's an aerosol, so I would assume it would be cold, but it was super duper cold. Got on there and it dried quick as hell, quicker than isopropyl alcohol. So I was like, okay, cool. Went ahead, waited for it to fully dry, which didn't take that long, plugged it into the car. Took me maybe 20 seconds to unplug it and plug it back in. It wasn't really hard. You just unclip it, undo the bolts, slide it out. Pretty easy. Put it back in the car, hopped in the vehicle, At this time, it was about 6:30. It is now 7:30, but it was about 6:30. Plugged it in the car, went ahead and diagnosed the car. Put the OBD2 sensor in there, cleared the code, turned the car on, let it run. As I'm letting it run, I'm also testing for the battery problem that I had earlier today. So I'm pressing on the gas, and I'm seeing like the RPMs move, expecting it to go like RPM high, and then it'll start going back to normal, and then it'll start downing. That's what it was doing originally when the sensor was bad. So as I'm throttling it, I noticed that the lights are getting brighter, and then it'll go back dim. So I'm starting to think the battery isn't the problem, but the alternator is leaching off of the battery. So that's why my battery is getting weak. So that's what I'm thinking right now, and I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind while I'm thinking about it. But that's the only issue I think is wrong with the car now. So I was able to test, like I said, the throttle body for about 30 minutes. I'd let it sit and fully come up to temp, and I watched the RPM in real time on my device the whole time. No codes were getting flagged, no none of that. There is a warning light on the dash, but it is for TMPS, which is tire pressure monitoring. So I do have a pump for that. I need to plug that up and have that charging by tonight, and I'll get that plugged up by the morning. But yeah, checked it. RPMs were looking good, everything mellowed out. So I believe the sensor is fine. I don't think there's any problems with the sensor right now. Let the vehicle come up to operating temperature, and I was like, okay, cool. It started getting a little dark, so I was like, let's turn the headlights on. Turn the headlights on, flash the lights. Now this is where I started getting confused, because the engine is on, the lights are on, and usually when the battery is bad or the alternator is bad, you'll flash the lights, and you'll see the dimming of like the headlights or any other cabin light. Nothing dimmed. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? Turn signals on, no RPM change, nothing dimmed. I was like, okay, let's go take it for a drive. So I put it in drive, took it for a drive. It performed amazing. Anytime I pressed the gas, the car would go. Anytime I pressed the brakes, the car would slow down. Anytime I turned the wheel, it was good, it was fine. It did have some like weird hesitations a second go around, but basically drove it around my section of my neighborhood twice, took it further down the neighborhood, drove it around the entire neighborhood, up a bunch of hills, down a bunch of hills. Like, it's a very swervy roads and all that, while pressing the gas hard and all that. And what I've come to the consensus of is around 2,000 RPM, the vehicle won't really want to go above that, which I think is healthy, until I floor it. I didn't floor it, but until I give it a lot of gas. And then once I do, it'll go up if it needs to. But it was going up to 40 miles per hour, a little bit above that. I didn't push it too fast because it's a residential, but I did go to 42 at the max when I was trying to press on the speed up a hill. Matter of fact, did well, wasn't any jerks or anything like that. It didn't stall out like it does, or it used to, or it did earlier today, so that was fine. No weird sounds of any kind or anything like that. I think it just needs to be washed and it should be straight. No error codes came up when I took it back home and scanned it again. I let it sit for a bit, and I did, pull the levers and everything, turn signals and all that while I was driving. No dimmings of the lights, so it looked like the car was finally fixed. Looked straight. But there was one thing that I did also write on my list, which also ties into the alternator thing, but I'm still skeptical on it. When I would slow the car down, the front lights would slightly dim. I think that's normal, once again, because if the alternator is not getting as much speed, obviously the alternator is not going to surge in electricity, causing the headlights to dim a little bit once it slows down. So I was like, okay, I don't think that's a problem. The dash lights didn't go down or any of that. So once again, I don't know. It's really weird. Brought it home. My sister was like, hey, can we take it for a drive? So I drove it again. Started up fine, drove fine again. But the second time when we were driving, I noticed when I would press the gas, it wouldn't jerk, but it would lift up a little bit. Once again, that's completely normal, I believe. I have never really driven a car like this to where I've not had that happen. But when I press the gas, it would do a little bit of a not a jerk, like a noticeable one, but it would be like, no, that's not even a good definition. It was driving fine, but it felt weird because I'm looking for it, so it felt a little weird. But other than that, fine. When I let off the gas, it would also do the little hesitation, just a little hesitation. And that makes me think that maybe the person I bought it from was driving it when it wasn't supposed to be driven, obviously, and it might have caused some problem of some sort. I don't know. Once again, I'm gonna have to check it out tomorrow. I'm wondering if the two-step stutter thing only happens when the car's cold. And if that's the case, is it caused by the battery? I have to diagnose that tomorrow, so I have to see all of this once I come from work. I'm gonna go ahead and get the code cleared for the tire to see if any other codes pop up. But I am very relieved that the car is driving proper right now in this current moment, meaning that all the work I put in was pretty fucking good. I only spent about $300 on all of this stuff, which was the sensor cleaner. That ran me about $30. The battery itself ran me about 170, and no, I spent about 500. And then the assembly for the airflow system costed me about 170. So that puts me at 340, about $400 in total. So I paid 1.5 for the car, and it seems like it's driving pretty fine right now. So I'm cool with that. The only thing that I need to keep checking out for is the power steering leak. I do need to get that under control before it does leak on anything important and cause a problem. That's what happened with my SC300, where the power steering fluid was leaking straight on the alternator, caused the alternator to go out, caused a short circuit, caused a whole lot of weird shit. So that is something I'm looking into. But as of this current moment, I don't feel safe driving the vehicle a far distance, so I won't be doing that. But tomorrow after work is very likely that I may take the car to the courthouse to go A, register the car, B, pay the fine that I owe, and C, see if it can actually drive in traffic and be fine. So I might drive it to Walmart tomorrow, see if it performs, get gas for it. And if it drives well through there, the next day I might take it to the courthouse and all that stuff, and just start to inch it into further and further tasks to see if it's, you know, drivable to where I need to drive it to, which is work. So tomorrow I will be buying an Uber. That's cool. I don't have a problem with it, but hopefully we can get everything under control. And that's basically all my day has been, working on the vehicle. Tomorrow will consist of, once again, working on the vehicle, just doing some minor things and just test driving it a little bit. And then I think tomorrow, yeah, I don't have anything else planned other than work. So yeah, work, test drive it to Walmart, and maybe take a nap and do something else. I don't know. So I'm gonna leave that day pretty open. Thursday, like I said, I got stuff planned. Friday, I got stuff planned. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm back at work. So all good. Other than that, like I said, that was my whole day. I know you guys had to listen to that yap about me talking about cars, but that was the whole day. I'm glad to see that the vehicle is starting to work, and hopefully I don't have to dump any more money into it, because I do only have a limited amount right now. So yeah. How am I feeling today? Feeling kind of good. You know, I actually enjoy working on vehicles, so today was a good day for me, and especially the days that you can see major results. So like I said, this is great. I don't have any problems. Hopefully, I'm very hoping that I can quadruple my profit pretty much from initial purchase all the way to 4K. That would be insane. And half of that would go back to buying a car, and the other half of that would be going straight to my day trading or something of value. So looking forward to it. And like I said, just hoping for the best with everything. I'm gonna end the video here, because like I said, I gotta go to sleep soon, 8 o'clock. Gotta wake up pretty early. Gotta go ahead and buy me an Uber as well today. So I'm gonna end it here. I'll let you guys know what happens tomorrow. I do have to respond to some comments on TikTok and YouTube, so I gotta go do that real quick. And also I gotta customize the listing. Yeah, and also I changed my name on social media from Evs Only Fan to Evs Only, because one of the Ubers I was driving in actually was asking me about the name, and I got on the topic of me being a day trader in my business and all that. And I was thinking in the back of my head the whole time, I was like, bruh, he's about to see so much immature videos on this Instagram. And it made me think, like, it was supposed to be a professional account. I have an alternate account. Why not make it the professional, like, face front, and then the secondary page be my, like, goofy account? So that's exactly what I did. So instead of Evs Only Fan, is now Evs Only on all my platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I do have to link all that stuff together as well later down the road, I guess, if they don't auto refresh. So gotta do that. Gotta customize the Facebook Marketplace listing. Gotta look at my payouts for eBay, because they did just get delivered today, and a few other things. But get that done real quick. Should take me about 20 minutes, so it'll be in time for bed. And I need to start buying melatonin, my nigga. I cannot fall asleep, bro. I need that shit. But I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.